Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit Lions fans. Let's get to the news, so Lions fans, buckle up because the NFL offseason just got a whole lot more interesting. Rumors are swirling around a potential blockbuster move that could reshape the NFC North's landscape. Word is, Detroit is in serious talks to acquire Stefon Diggs from the New England Patriots. And if this deal goes through, it could be one of the most impactful trades in recent Lions history. Now I know what you're thinking. Diggs, isn't he a Buffalo Bill? Well, yes, but recent reports suggest that the Patriots, who are in rebuild mode after a disastrous 3-14 season, are aggressively shopping their veteran receiver. And Detroit, always looking to elevate its offense, might just be the perfect landing spot. Sources close to the franchise indicate that the Lions are offering a first-round pick in the 2026 draft, along with a third-rounder in 2027. That's a pretty bold move, but it signals just how much Detroit's front office believes this move could push them over the top. The Patriots, meanwhile, are eyeing a rebuild, shedding cap space, and looking for young assets to help them reset after a rough season that saw them miss the playoffs entirely. Releasing around $40 million in cap space in 2026, New England is prioritizing youth, especially on the offensive line and defensive line, after suffering from injuries and inconsistencies across their roster. Now let's talk about Diggs himself. At 32, he's still an explosive playmaker, a receiver who can change the course of a game in an instant. His speed remains elite, and his route running is among the best in the league. This guy is a true deep threat, capable of tearing defenses apart with his ability to stretch the field. His career stats are impressive: 140 games played, nearly 847 receptions, over 10, 945 yards, and 67 touchdowns. Last season alone, he put up 78 catches for over 145 yards and 6 touchdowns, despite dealing with some injuries. His target rate is high, at 122 targets in 2025, and he maintains a catch percentage close to 64%. His yards per reception, 13.4, and yards after catch, 4.7, show how versatile he is. Diggs also excels at contested catches, with a 54% success rate, and his advanced stats reflect his ability to create mismatches. His overall PFF grade last season was an impressive 86.4, ranking him among the top wideouts in the league. One of the key factors in this potential trade is Diggs' health. He suffered a shoulder injury in Week 9 last year, but recovered fully, posting over 150 yards in 4 games after returning. His durability and consistency are big pluses, especially for a team like Detroit that's aiming for a deep playoff run. When you compare him to other elite receivers, Diggs surpasses many in yards after catch and adjusted yards per attempt, even when contested. His ability to generate yards after the catch, over 400 yards last season, puts him in the upper echelon of NFL receivers. This isn't just about adding a guy for the sake of depth. It's about bringing in a game-changing talent who can elevate the entire passing attack. The logic behind the Patriots' decision to trade Diggs is straightforward. They're facing a tight cap situation, with around $28 million in dead money if they keep him. They're prioritizing rebuilding their roster, especially investing in young players on the offensive line and defensive front, after suffering injuries to key players like May, who missed significant time with a concussion. The Patriots are also looking to recoup draft picks they can use to rebuild the wide receiver position, similar to how they traded Diggs last year, which initially boosted the Texans' aerial attack but didn't translate into postseason success. The Patriots' defense last season was giving up an average of 32 points per game, and they need assets to bolster their secondary and pass rush, especially with projections showing a $12 million cap hit in 2026 even after some cuts. Now, how does this move impact the Lions? Well, Detroit is already off to a solid start with a 2-1 record through September 2025. Their passing game has been decent but a little inconsistent, averaging around 230 yards per game, with Amon-Ra St. Brown leading the charge. But adding Diggs would be a game changer. His presence would push that number well over 300 yards per game, and that's not an exaggeration. With Diggs in the mix, Detroit's offense could realistically see over 100 receiving yards for him alone, significantly boosting their offensive efficiency. His ability to create mismatches, especially against man coverage, would open up more opportunities for Jared Goff, who's been developing into one of the league's better quarterbacks. In fact, the analytics tell us that with Diggs, the Lions could see an increase of about 16% in EPA, expected points added, per pass attempt. That's huge. The deep routes and play-action passes become so much more dangerous with him stretching defenses vertically. And let's not forget the impact on the running game. By spreading defenses out more, he creates more room for Gibbs and Montgomery to operate, which could lead to a 9% increase in yards after catch for the running backs. This move would also help reduce the risk of turnovers. Diggs, route running, and ball skills mean fewer drops and a lower interception rate on Goff's passes, which is crucial in tight games. From a strategic standpoint, bringing Diggs into Detroit's offense would elevate their chances in big moments. Simulations using next-gen stats algorithms project that with Diggs, the Lions could win about 2 more games in the regular season, improving from a solid but not elite passing attack to one of the league's top units. That translates directly into better playoff positioning and a more dangerous team come January. His elite route running, combined with Goff's improving accuracy and decision-making, makes for a perfect storm. His presence would also help in third-down situations, where his 48% conversion rate last season is already impressive. But with him in the lineup, that number could go even higher. And speaking of the Super Bowl, the odds for Detroit to reach Super Bowl LXI would take a massive nosedive with Diggs in the fold. Currently sitting at around +7, 0 odds, it's expected to drop to something closer to +2, 800, making the Lions instant contenders. His elite ability to win contested catches and his speed to beat defenses deep would make him the ultimate X-factor in the playoffs. Imagine him lining up alongside St. Brown, creating mismatches against weaker defenders and drawing double coverage that opens up the field for the run game and other playmakers. His addition would also boost the overall team morale and confidence, knowing they have a receiver who can be the difference maker on any given play. This move also echoes some of the biggest trades in NFL history that have reshaped franchises. Think Tyreek Hill's move to the Dolphins or Stephon Diggs' own trade from Minnesota to Buffalo. It's about stacking talent at the right time, aiming for that elusive Super Bowl ring. For Detroit, this isn't just about a single player. It's about signaling to the league that they're serious contenders, that they're willing to make bold moves to chase greatness. The Lions' front office has shown a willingness to be aggressive this offseason, and bringing in Diggs would be the perfect statement. Of course, nothing is official yet, and there are still details to iron out. The Lions are aware of the value Diggs brings, not just on the field, but also in the locker room. His veteran leadership, work ethic, and ability to elevate teammates would fit perfectly with Detroit's culture. Fans are already excited, imagining the fireworks this duo could create. Goff throwing deep to Diggs, setting up play-action bombs that leave defenses scrambling, and watching the Lions' passing game reach new heights. If this trade goes down, it could turn the Lions from a good team into a true Super Bowl favorite, an era-defining move that could be remembered for years to come. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Detroit Lions news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, the Lions' offense would be practically unguardable with Diggs lining up opposite St. Brown. Defenses would have to pick their poison, either double-team Diggs and risk losing the underneath routes to St. Brown or bracket him and leave the deep ball open for Goff to launch. That kind of versatility makes the Lions a nightmare matchup for any secondary. And with the playoffs approaching, having a weapon like Diggs could be the difference between a good season and a historic one. His track record of clutch catches and game-changing plays would give Detroit a serious edge in close games, especially in high-pressure situations. This potential trade also raises questions about the long-term vision of the Lions. They've been building steadily, adding young talent like Gibbs, Laporta, and Campbell, but acquiring a veteran like Diggs signals their intent to contend now. It's a bold move, but one that could pay off big time if everything falls into place. The NFC North is becoming more competitive, with the Packers and Bears investing heavily in their rosters and the Vikings always lurking. Stay ahead, Detroit wants to make sure they have the best weapons possible. Adding Diggs would seal that deal, giving Goff a premier target who can take over games in the blink of an eye. Finally, let's talk about the bigger picture. This move could recalibrate the entire NFC landscape. Teams like the 49ers, Eagles, and Chiefs are already stacked, and the Lions want to join that elite club. With Diggs, they'd be a serious threat to make a deep playoff run, perhaps even reaching the Super Bowl. It's a move that echoes the legendary trades that have defined NFL history, shifting the balance of power and setting the stage for a new chapter of success in Detroit. The Lions have the talent, the coaching, and now, possibly, the star power to prove they're ready to compete at the highest level. This is the kind of bold step that can turn a franchise's trajectory around and solidify their place among the league's best. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Detroit Lions. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news.